If you're a parent in midlife, then you're probably juggling the needs and wants of 3 generations: your children, your own, and your parents. I'm thinking a lot about legacy these days. I'm wondering if someone were to ask our kids 20, 30 years from now what they remember about us growing up, what would they say? And would their answer make us smile or would it make us cry? Welcome to the Dule Johanna podcast, where we reclaim our voice, our space, and our power. As you can probably see and hear, I am not at home right now. I am recording this from Tuscany, where I'm on vacation with my family. So this episode is about what I hope that my children will remember about their childhood, about my personal story, the things that stuck with me most. And at the end of the episode, I want to give us all a little homework that will make sure that whatever their answer is when somebody asks them about us in 30 years, that this will be an answer that will make us smile, that will make us proud and happy. Being on vacation, spending so much time with my family, really makes me think about legacy so much. What do I want to leave when I'm leaving this world? What do I want to leave for my children? What do I want to leave for myself? And what are my parents leaving to me? All those things are going through my mind a lot right now. Today, I want to focus on the children. I'm sure that being here gives them a wildly different experience with their mother. I work so much less. I don't cook as much. I don't do laundry as much. I am really way more relaxed here than I probably am at home most of the time. I get to really be there with them for all the little things they want to show me, all the little theaters, all the little songs they want to sing to me. We get to spend time in the pool, all those things. And I really, really love it. And it makes me sad to think that this is really not how I am at home. Like, we don't even get to spend that many hours together, good or bad. We have a couple hours a day. And even for those few hours, I'm not 100% present. I have so many things on my mind most of the time. And I'm a little scared to think that maybe one day they will look back and say like, yeah, well, what I remember most about my mom is that she was always busy with something else, or that, I don't know, she was stressed and she was always busy and always said like, one more minute, wait a second, all those things. When I look back on my own childhood and try to remember what are the things that I remember most, there are a lot of hard things. There is a lot of fighting. My parents didn't have an easy marriage and they had a really hard time with each other. I remember a lot of that. But there are also some really wonderful things I remember. I remember my dad coming home from work and spending the rest of the evening with me, playing with me with my dollhouse, reading to me, and it meant the world to me. Even though I only saw him for an hour in a day, he really made this hour count. I really felt so seen during that time. When I think about my mother, I mostly remember how much she loved her work. She's an art historian and she was so engrossed in that world. She was always thinking about art and artists, writing about it, like writing a book even about a famous Polish artist. Yeah, she was really into that. And when she was passionate about something, then nothing could stop her. And I loved it about her. And I can especially appreciate that now as a grown-up. I also remember that she always made sandwiches for me for school for a long time, until I was 15 or so, until my parents separated. She would get up every morning and make those sandwiches for me. Sometimes she would even draw little pictures on the paper that the sandwiches were wrapped in. And those little things really made me feel so special. I love that about her. It's often really tiny little things that have the biggest impact. I had a complicated relationship with my mother, to say the least. But she was there for me in a very physical sense. When I needed a hug, I know I could come to her. She wouldn't necessarily listen to me a lot, but she would comfort me in her own way. So there are those small things I remember that have the biggest impact. When I think about that, I'm 100% sure it's the same thing for our kids, you know? I'm sure that they also just want those little moments of attention where they feel loved, where they feel seen, where they feel important. What is one thing that you remember about your childhood, even if it wasn't an easy childhood? What was the one thing that you were waiting for all day to happen because it made you feel special and seen? We all love our children so, so much. And we want them to know that. And we want them to feel that, even once we're gone. And I'm wondering, how can we do it? I sincerely hope that when they are grown-ups and they look back at the childhood memories, that they remember that they were loved, that they were really seen for who they are, and that they were allowed to be themselves, that they got to have all the emotions they needed to have, that we were there for them, witnessing them, and enjoying them with all their quirks. Being on holiday is such a luxury in that sense. I really have time for all those little things that makes them and this time together so special. How my 3-year-old makes up new words every day or uses them in a funny sense. How my middle child is still so open for magic and magical and sees magical things in the world around her. And how my oldest is slowly turning into this young lady. And how much she wants to belong to the grown-up world, how much she has to say, how many original thoughts she has. I can see how every day they're really growing more into themselves and how much they love being here, how much they love that we have all this time, that all this expansion is possible here, that we can really be together, how they can see me and my husband be together in such different ways. We're not only organizing life together, like we're really sitting there, we're laughing about those little stories over dinner and we cook together, we do all those things together. It feels so different. It feels so different from home. And I want to bring this with me. So my homework for all of us this week is sit down with your children for a meal and have this conversation. Let's talk to them about what are the things that make you feel special. What do you think what you will remember about us when we're old or when we're gone? What are the little things that make your childhood special? What are the little things we do in a day that you look forward to most? What is the best thing about being on holiday? What do you like most? And then let's make a list. Let's write it down together and bring it to our normal everyday life as much as we can. I know it's not always possible. That's okay. That's okay. We cannot be perfect. But let's remember that those simple things can really make such a difference. Let's put them in the spotlight. They really mean so much. I guess often when we think about legacy, we think a lot about other people, about success and all those like metrics that you can measure in our world, right? Like how many books have I published, or I don't know, how much money did I make? But what actually lives on are different things, and especially what actually matters for us to live on. And I think the most important thing for us is really how will the people that we love remember us? That is really what makes me, at least, feel the warmest in my heart. Like, this is what counts. All the ones that are on paper, they will be forgotten in the next 50 years, the latest, right? But if we leave something in our children, this will transform maybe a couple more generations. And this is really what I think of when I think of legacy in terms of our children. Next week, I want to talk more about what legacy means for me, independently of my children. What is the legacy that I want to leave behind, even if no one else would ever know about it? See you again next week. And remember to be your own life doula.